Arch has got it.
Good evening, everyone. This is the post-match press conference for Austin F.C. versus Mazatlán F.C. and Leagues Cup, joined now by Austin F.C. head coach Josh Wolff. For those on Zoom, if you have a question, please place it into the chat, and we will read it off here. To start, we'll go with just initial impressions of the match from Coach.
It was frustrating. The goals given up were frustrating. I think we do enough in the game to create a lot of chances, and quality decision-making on our own part in and around the opposition's goal wasn't good enough. We lacked decisiveness, precision, and ruthlessness. Then the goals we give up, I think, are just quite soft. We have so many numbers in and around the box. Individually, collectively, it just needed to be better. And unfortunately, goals change games, and penalty boxes are where games are won and lost. And they didn't create a lot, but what they did, they scored. And for us on the other side, we created a lot and didn't take enough chances. So it becomes quite frustrating in that fashion. Obviously, Giassi goes out early. That's a little concern, and Maxi also has something up with his abductor. So those are things that happen and can be frustrating. Both teams dealt with an early sub, so there was a better result in there for us. We did not execute well enough in my eyes.
Thank you, Coach. We will now open up the room to questions. Go ahead, please.
Coach, you touched on this a little bit, but the injuries that happened tonight, and then I know that we talked about in the press conference the possibility of Danny and Drusi being able to be available, either today or sometime soon. Can we get just kind of a rundown on that and how they're looking like, and if there's any word on the injuries that happened tonight?
Giassi's is an adductor, so the likelihood is that's going to take some time. Maxi is in a similar space. I think he's just wearing down. Danny Pereira, again, it's an AC joint shoulder, so there's weakness. It's a sprain. Emiliano is still going to be 3+ weeks. Sebastian is just doing some individual work at the end of the week, and Leo Väisänen is going to be out for probably another 2 months. Johnny Gallagher had a busy week, so we were mindful of that. Alex Ring was in with the group this week, so there is the potential for him. But it's a lot of guys that have a pretty big role inside the group, so it is difficult. But regardless of that, we had enough opportunities to make more of the situation. So we let ourselves down. The players that weren't available, that's its own little story. The guys that were out here, we had more than enough out there to get the result.
And then just one more, I saw when he was coming off the field, Brad was pretty fired up. He threw off his towel and flung his water bottle. But I noticed that you had stopped him with a handshake and kind of just said some words to him. What was that conversation like? And was there anything that he said to you that, you, I guess, kind of just agree with his sentiment?
No, he was frustrated. I think he was just showing how frustrated he was.
Jorge.
Josh, we lost with the worst team of Mexico. Anything you will tell? I mean, what you're going to tell Anthony Precourt or Rodo? What you will tell? Can you share with us what you are going to tell him after this game?
I think we had plenty of opportunities there to grab a result in this. We created plenty of chances, plenty of situations, and I'm not going to talk about the players that aren't there. They're pretty important ones, but the guys that were there had a chance to get the job done. We didn't, and that's where we're at. We have another game, and we can continue to advance in the tournament. So we'll look to the next game.
We just talked to Coach Ismael, and he said he knew about Valencia's play or how he played, and also Fagundes. He sent a special, ¿cómo se puede decir? Cuidado especial.
Just
No. Cuidando a Valencia.
looking after the two.
Yeah, like he sent a special team to look for Valencia and Fagundes, and he practically said he gave you the ball and he was just waiting for the opportunity to attack, and practically that was his plan.
Okay. Is there a question in there? You want me to answer
exactly.
Is there a question?
It's like, do you have any plan? Can you tell us about any player that you, or any plan about facing Mazatlán?
Well, I think the plan was, we got around them quite easily. We got in the penalty box. I don't know how many times we broke their last line, how many times we are inside their penalty box with numbers, with the ability to play a ball in front of goal, to cut a ball back to the penalty spot, service that doesn't arrive, but players do arrive when service does. I think there were plenty of opportunities for us. So the way that we set up and we played it, the execution in certain areas of it was quite good, but you have to execute it in front of goal. They scored a goal from distance that goes in at the near post. A ball's deflected. I mean, there is just the rub of the green, and they had a little bit of fortune, and I don't think they did anything particularly, extremely great, but they were opportunistic and took their chances. We didn't, and that's soccer. We controlled large parts of it. We got into spots that we like, that we usually are punishing, but decision-making quality in those moments wasn't good enough. But we went around them, through them, over them in many ways. And they're a professional team. They want to make it difficult, but they were certainly up against it. Giving up the goal right after we tied it is, you lose that momentum. Now, that certainly doesn't help us. But the start of the second half, obviously give up a goal, but dominating from all the way into where we score, and then obviously it's a quick giveaway on the second goal, and that's the needless part of it. You lose that real momentum where we were pounding them and suppressing them, and you grab the second one, you could probably grab the third and the fourth, but we gave that up too easily. Naive, soft.
And Michelle, I'm sorry, Michelle, do you have a question?
Yeah, I guess you have a few days. What are some positives, that you could take away from this game that maybe you can change up for the next game? Obviously, each club is different, right?
Yeah, I mean, the positives, again, I think were the things that we say. We're in the penalty box. We're getting behind their back line. We have numbers, really good opportunities to, again, create goal scoring. Ethan's in behind the line. He could roll the ball back to Diego, who's completely free at the penalty. That's the decision-making and execution. Owen's running behind the line, and Diego's running. And, if he leaves it for Diego, Diego's heading the ball open to a forward that's literally wide open on his own in front of goal. So the opportunities are there, the results will help drive a narrative, but we have the opportunities to take them. We did not take them. And, the people that weren't there, so be it. The people that were there have the opportunity to take the opportunity. And we didn't do enough with the opportunity. It was there to be done, and we didn't score enough goals or weren't clean enough and show enough quality, poise, and, ruthlessness when given the chance.
And we have a question now on Zoom from John Lupo. What was more disappointing, your inability to finish your chances or the way the defense played? That's the question from John Lupo.
It's a fair question. The defending is frustrating. I mean, we have 6 or 7 guys. They have 3 guys on the first one. We win the first one. We dive in at the top of the box, and the second one, it gets shot from 18 yards maybe. The second one is a diagonal. We don't need to, Ethan gets played over. The back line, again, can narrow. It's that there's just, fundamental defending, which has been much better in the last 5-6 games that we played in the league. So, but we let ourselves down. We had plenty of chances to score as well. That's the great thing about this. Both ends are impactful, and when you don't get enough goals, the defense is under stress. But we could have been much better in front of the goal. That's also the other side of this.
And Corey in the back.
First one, Josh.
Sure.
I know you keep talking about opportunities and the things you miss in front of the goal. Why? Why do you think that is from the guys on the pitch? And
yeah, we've scored a lot of goals in our last 6-7 games. I mean, we've multiple goals in majority of our last 10 games. Creating chances. Tonight again, we're there. I think a little more quality in those moments, a little more poise and calm with the decision or finalizing the action. I don't think it's anything more than that. And on some nights you take 3, 4, 5, and some nights you take 1, and it's frustrating. And on the other side of it, we give up 3 very needless, soft goals, and it's certainly frustrating. But again, the positives are we continue to find ways to create. I think the fluidity, the pace of the game, we need to drive. The speed of our play at times has to be much quicker to take our advantages in the first phase and in the second phase, and certainly into how we finalize attacks. But having said that, we still did enough to get more goals out of this game and put us in a better position to get a better result.
yeah, and you're using words like soft, lack of ruthlessness.
Yeah.
Is that something that you've been trying to tell your team over the past couple of weeks about getting that type of?
Yeah, I think
energy
we've
out?
been good. I think that's been, it's a little bit of a step, in the other direction. I think the last 6-7 games, the character, the grind, the dig, and the ability to grab results, to dominate, and Dallas and Houston, and to put away a Minnesota. That's being ruthless. That's being collective. That's being buttoned up at both ends of the at both ends of the park. And it's every week is a different opponent, a different challenge, and we obviously have different personnel on the field. So those are all part of the challenges. But we have plenty of opportunities in this game to do ourselves, more good than we did, and we didn't. And on the defending side, there's moments there, but both ends of the field, both boxes.
All right, final question, Jorge.
Josh, we're gonna have 1 week, or you're gonna have 1 week to recover the team, and you're gonna have the advantage of know the result.
Yeah.
How to face Juarez FC?
Yeah, we'll see how people recover from this. It'll be nice to see where is Sebastian, where is Pereira, where is Alex. Obviously, we'll have to see where Giassi and Maxi are. Johnny will be fresh. Owen looked fatigued tonight. And, I think we'll take stock of our own players, which should give us, more quality and certainly, I think a freshness to the group if some of these guys are able to play. But we'll look at FC Juarez as we go through the week, and we'll obviously get a game on Wednesday night to watch them when they play against Mazatlán. And we know, depending on that result, there'll be various things that can happen. So we'll have to be mindful of that. But we know we have to win the game, so that doesn't change.
Thank you very much, Coach. This concludes our post-match